Well, hello there, it's Pam Carr here, and what I'm going to show you today is some of these cute little bonding squares. And if you're not familiar with bonding squares, they're a concept that they have for bonding moms with their preemie babies. And sometimes the moms have to be separated from their babies when they're preemies, and this way you put one bonding square with the mother, one with the baby. They pick up their scent and everything about them, their ethos, and then they swap them over, and then the baby is familiarized with the scent of the mother, and the mother gets the baby scent, and it helps them bond. And so I think that's a lovely concept. I've created these for my friend Helen over at Sunflower Cottage Crochet. She's doing a blog hop about preemie babies. So there's little hats and preemie blankets and bonding squares. Okay, so to make these bonding squares, I'm using this Peyton's Astra yarn. It's a 3 lightweight yarn. This one was made with peach. I'm going to be making one with a pink today. And I also used a G hook. A G crochet hook, a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, some scissors, and of course a nice yarn needle to weave in the ends. Okay, so join me for this tutorial if you want to make yourself or your friend a bonding square. Okay, so to start our bonding square, you've got two options. This is a granny square bonding square, so it's really just a little granny square with some single crochet border around the edge. Okay, so to start out your granny square, you can start it out by chaining 4 and making a loop. Some people do it differently. I'm going to do it with a magic loop. Okay, so I'm going to put my yarn through my fingers like that and wrap it around like this and pinch it with my thumb, and then I'm going to take my hook and put it under, if I can get it under, and then over, and then pull it through, and then put the yarn under the one that's over that back finger and pull it through. That's a chain, and I'm going to chain another one because I want to chain 2. Okay, I do have a tutorial on how to make a magic loop. I go a little bit slower, but you can also chain 4 and slip stitch them together to make a little loop if that's what you prefer to do. Okay, so now I'm holding the tail into the loop like this, and I'm going to be working into that loop to create the beginning, the middle of my granny square. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm actually going to chain 1 more. So that makes 3 chains, because that's going to act as the first double crochet, because granny squares are made out of shells with 3 double crochets made together. Okay, so that's going to act as the first double crochet, and now I'm going to work another double crochet into that magic loop, or into the loop that you've created, and then another double crochet. So we've got a chain 3 and then 2 double crochets. All right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to chain 1. So we've chained 1, and now we're going to make 3 more double crochets right into that magic loop, and I'm still holding the tail, and we're going to go 3. 1. Now I have got another granny square tutorial on here, and it's different to this one because I have more chains in my corners and all of that kind of things. Granny squares can be made in quite a few different ways. Some people choose to do them one way, some another, and sometimes for one pattern a different style works better. So now I've done my 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to do another chain 1 because that's going to be my corner. Okay, and now I'm going to do 3 more into the circle, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. So now we've got 3 clusters, right? We're going to chain 1. So we've got our first cluster, which had the chain 3 and the 2 double crochets. The second cluster, which is 3 double crochets, then a chain 1 to separate them. Another one, 3 double crochets. We've just done a chain 1, so we're going to do 3 more into the ring to finish our first little round. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then we're going to chain one, and then I'm going to pull this tight. It's always a good idea to double check if you want to make sure you've got enough clusters. There's one cluster, two clusters, three clusters, four, or shells. Some people call them clusters, some people call them shells. So I'm going to pull on my magic loop and tighten it off. Yeah, it's nice and tight. And I am going to make a slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we started with, okay? Right into the top of there. Because I'm using a G hook, it's a little bit tighter than normal, but I just wanted it to be a nice solid little bonding square. Now we have made that. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're not changing colors. You could choose to change colors if you wanted to, but I chose to make mine all out of the same thing. So what we've got here now is we've slip stitched into the top of that chain at the beginning, and we can see our cluster is there. I've chained 3 up, but I'm going to go back into that last chain 1 space, and I'm going to do 2 double crochets into that space. 1, 2. And what that is going to be the last half of this corner, because each corner is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. So we're just going to leave that there, and when we come to the end of this round, we are going to go back into that space and finish off that corner. Okay, this is the style of granny square we're doing for this bonding square. So now we're going to skip. We're not going to chain 1, we're going to skip right over here, because we want this to be a nice little fabric here. So we're going to skip over these 3, and we're going to yarn over, and we're going to make 3 double crochets into this corner chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 1 for the corner and do 3 more double crochets into that same space there. 1, 2, and 3. Now, normally, a lot of times you'll chain 1 when you're going over these 3 double crochet clusters, but like I said before, we're not doing that in this pattern. Okay, so we're going to skip right over, put the yarn over, ready to do 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space for the corner. 1, 2, 3. And because it's a corner, we're chaining 1. Sometimes you chain 2 or 3, but we're just chaining 1. Okay, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets. 2 and 3. And as I said before, we're not going to chain 1, we're just going to go straight over and into this next chain 1 space, yarn over, and 3 double crochets. 1, 1, 2, and 3. So there's our 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 3 double crochets. And again, we're not chaining over these 3 double crochets, but we're going to go into this final one where we did the chain 3 and 2 double crochets. We are going to make 3 double crochets right into that corner. Sorry, get a little bit up to the top of my screen here. 1, 2, 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to slip stitch into the chain 3, to the top of the chain 3 there. There we go. Okay, now we're going to be, that's 2 rounds, 1 round there, 2 rounds, right? We've got 1, 2, the corner, 1, 2, the corner, 1, 2, the corner, 1, 2, back to the corner. So what we're going to do now is we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. You see we're in the corner where the chain 1 space is. This is the chain 1 space behind this chain 3. But we're just going to go into that and make 2 more double crochets. 1 and 2. And we will be back to finish that corner later, okay? Now here we are going to be doing our first 3 double crochet shell into the middle there. And we are not chaining 1, we are just going straight from that corner, yarn over into that space between. You still have a space even though you didn't chain 1, right? You still have a space. Funny how that works. 1, 2, and 3. And once again, we're going to skip right over the 3 crochets in that shell. We're going to go into this corner because this is a corner. So we're going to do 3 double crochets, a chain 1, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, because it's a corner. The only time we do a chain 1 is in the corner. 1, 2, and 3. There. So we have our nice corner. We're going to skip over here and into that space in between those 3 double crochet clusters there, or shells. We're going to yarn over and we're going to do 3 double crochets to make another shell. 1, 2, and 3. And now we are going to skip over into the chain 1 space in the corner, and in the corner 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 1 into the same space, 2, and 3. Don't chain 1, skip straight over into between those 2 little shells there and do 3 double crochets in there. 1, 2, and 3. Skip right over. Oh, my tails got stuck in there. I'll sort that out later. Skip over into the corner, chain 1 space, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. So this is the third. We're going to chain 1 and 3 double crochets. And 3. Are we going to chain 1? No. We're going to skip right over and do 3 double crochets into this space in between. Even though we didn't chain 1, there is a space for us. So there's 3. And then we're coming up to that final corner, which we did the chain 3 and the 2 double crochets. Okay, so what we're going to do now is 3 double crochets and a chain 1, 2, 3 double crochets and a chain 1, and then we're going to slip stitch right into the top of the chain 3. And there we have our second round. Okay, so let's just have a look. So we've got those 1, 2, 3, 4 right in the middle there. And then on this row, we've got the corner and a corner and a corner and a corner. And then in this one, we've got the corner and 1, and then a corner, then 1 shell, a corner, one shell, a corner, and a shell. So the next time we go around, we are going to be doing 2 shells into these spaces between the corners. And on, you know, every row we get an extra shell added between the corners, okay? So this is 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. For this, we need to have 5 rounds of granny squares rows, okay? So I'm going to start off on our 1, 2, 3, 4th round, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and like I said before, look for that chain 1 space in the corner there that's behind your chain, and work 2 double crochets in there. This is just kind of the way I do it. Some people have you slip stitch along and all those. You can, no one is right. They're all different things. Like we say, crochet is its own thing. So we're not going to chain 1. We're going to skip right over into that space and do chain 3. I mean, not chain, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to skip over and go into this one. Yarn over first though, because they're double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to skip over the 3 in the corner here and go right into that chain 1 space and do 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. 1, 2 into the same space, 3, chain 1, and back into the same corner space, 1, 2, and 3. And as I've said in previous videos, if I'm going too fast, just stop the video. Okay, so along here now, we are going to do 3 double crochets in that space, 3 double crochets in that space, no chain 1s in between, just straight over, and then skip right over, no chain 1, into that corner, do 3 double crochets, chain 1 for the corner, and 3 double crochets. And that brings us round to the next side. And once again, we'll skip over, 3 double crochets in there, 3 double crochets in there, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. And I will meet you round at the end where we have to finish off that first corner, okay? So here we are back at the final corner, and I am just going to, into that chain 1 space there where the other bit has been made, the starting of the corner, we are going to go in with a 3 double crochets. 1, and 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. And now we're going to chain 1 and slip stitch right into the top of that chain 3, and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, because we have to do the 5th round. We've got 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds. So this is the 5th round. So here we go. We find that chain 1 space right behind our chain 3. It's right there. We are going to go into there and do 2 double crochets. This is the end of the final corner, because each corner has 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. So whenever we chain those 3 at the beginning, that's a pretend double crochet, okay? So we're going to skip over. We're going to do 3 double crochets in that space, skip over, 3 double crochets in that space, skip over, 3 double crochets in that space, and then skip right into the corner. And this is where we do 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. So we're going to work all the way around like that. So then once we've done that corner, we turn. We have this side here with all these nice little triangular holes there, 3 double crochets, no chain 1, skip right over, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets into the corner, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, and turn. Okay, so I'll see you at the end. So here we are back at the corner. We've done the beginning, that end corner, that chain 3, 2 double crochet into that corner, 1, 2, 3 shells, and then another corner, 1, 2, 3 shells, and another corner, 1, 2, 3 shells, another corner, chain 3, double crochet 3, chain 1, double crochet 3, 1, 2, 3 shells, and we are going to do our final 3 double crochets into this last corner. 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, and slip stitch into the top of our chain 3. There we go. Okay, and now we are ready for our trim, but I'll just show you what we've got. This is our little center cross there. That's 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 5 rounds. Okay, so now we're going to do this. So we're not changing our color, we're not fastening off, we're just going to chain 1, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets into that same stitch there. 2, 1, 2. So that in effect we have chained 1 and made 2 single crochets. So that's kind of like doing 3 single crochets, because we're going to do 3 single crochets into each of our corners on the trim. Now when you look, you'll see we've got all these stitches across here. So we are going to single crochet. Oops, sorry, I wanted to show you close up. A single crochet into that one. Here's our next stitch. See it there? We're going to put our hook in, single crochet into that one. You can actually see it if you stretch them out. Single crochet into that one, single crochet into the next one, go into the next one, single crochet, and we're going to single crochet all the way over top of these double crochets, okay, into each stitch. You can also see the V's at the top and go into underneath the V's if that's what you want to look for. Okay, so we're going to single crochet all the way down that side. Here we are at the first 3 double crochets of the cluster corner, and this is our chain 1 space here, and so into that space we're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, just to get us around the corner. And then when we go down, we are going to go right into this and start doing our single crochets all the way down the second side. When you get to the end, you do 3 single crochets into that chain 1 corner space and single crochet all the way down the other side until you get to the corner. 3 single crochets into the corner space and single crochet into each stitch until you get to the final corner. So this is, I'll just get to this space and I'll show you. Here we go, we're down this side. We're going over those double crochets in that first chain, 3 double crochets, and here we are in the corner. I'm going to actually go into the chain 1 for this one. 2, 3, so you can go into the chain 1 or right into the space and then start down the other side. And this is what it looks like. Really nice little trim. So I'm going to go around with my trim and I'll meet you when I get back to the beginning. So now I'm back at the beginning and I've just done a single crochet into the last of the double crochets there, and I am just going to put my hook under the top of that chain 1, yarn over, pull it through, and this is where we're going to fasten off, okay? And pull it through. And this is our bonding square. How cute is that? Okay, these are around 5 inches. Okay, so now we've got a peachy one and we've got a pink one. So I'm going to just show you how to fasten in the ends in case you've never done that before. You just put your yarn hook. I like to fold it over and poke it through that way. And then I'm just going to feed this into the tops of the single crochets there. And then I'm going to go down here. Just go up and down. In and out. It's weaving in and out, under, over, right? And then I'm going to go back, under, over, maybe go into this part here, down into the actual granny square. And then I can cut it off. You should go in 3 different directions to make sure it's not going to come untangled. So that's that end weave woven in. And then we always have the corner. I like to pull it extra tight. If you've done a magic circle, you can do that. Like I said, I do have a magic circle tutorial that sort of shows you. I thought it would be a quick little tutorial to make, but when you automatically make something and then you try and slow it down to make a tutorial, it's really complicated. I had to shoot it about 5 different times to make sure I was doing it right. So here we go. Pulling in those ends here. Okay. And there we have a bonding square. And of course you could use this to make little bags. You could fold it over, make a little iPod holder. Another thing you can do with granny squares is you can actually fold them like this and make a little bag. Meet them in the middle, stitch those 2 sides up, and then you've got a little flap over at the button. I thought of making an iPod holder one day, but anyway, right now this is acting as a bonding square. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel. That would really help me out, and click on the bell if you want notifications. And I think you get notifications for lives as well if you click on the button. So happy crocheting, everybody. I hope you enjoy these little bonding squares. Thank you so much.